Jacob Cockle from Cornwall, England, had an interesting hobby. Known as the whirlpool hitman, he would often locate the natural phenomena and film whirlpools while swimming close by or even end them. This is extremely dangerous, but Jacob was a strong swimmer and had plenty of experience. He had racked up millions of views on his YouTube channel, but in 2013, he would appear in his last ever video. While filming a whirlpool in the estuary of River Hale with the help of a friend, Jacob donned a comedy horse head mask and got into the water. He attempted to float in the whirlpool and be spun around by it, as he had done so many times before. However, this time he was dragged under and with his friend unable to save him. Jacob Cockle drowned. An autopsy revealed trace amounts of ketamine in Jacob's system, and a verdict of accidental death was recorded. The coroner said, "I have seen the footage of him being sucked around the whirlpool while wearing the horse's head. There's no doubt that Jacob was a competent waterman. There was also no doubt that he was a risk taker." He also called Jacob an admirable young man who died doing what he loved.
गैस निकल रही भाई साजिद इधर आया वो गैस बड़ी खतरनाक.
Now for a trip over to India, where an accident caused a gas station tanker full of petrol to roll over, spilling gasoline and fumes all over the street. As a mob of people stands by watching, the petrol ignites, sending plumes of fire and smoke into the sky.
वो आग लग गई दौड़ जाओ आग लग गई ओए दौड़ जाओ मोटरसाइकिल वाला विच वड़ गई होवे.
Before long, the entire street is a raging inferno, and there's no way to stop it due to the constant source of fuel.
ओए पेट्रोल पंप सड़ गई साजिद निकल यार निकल.
Fortunately for them, but not for those of us watching, the cameraman finally decides he's had enough and gets the hell out of there.
So we have 10 minutes to get gloves on. Lowell, do you need help? I think I'm almost. Okay. After you get yours, then I'll get mine.
Even with meticulous planning by some of the world's smartest scientists, a journey into the unknown can sometimes have devastating consequences. The Space Shuttle Columbia was NASA's first space-rated orbiter. On February 1st, 2003, it was returning to Earth after a successful 16-day scientific research mission when tragedy struck. During re-entry, a piece of foam insulation from the shuttle's external fuel tank broke off and struck the left wing, damaging the shuttle's thermal protection system. This cockpit tape shows crew members contacting control and describing an orange glow that can be seen outside the window.
Would you hold just 1 second? I want to get to my gloves before G's build. I won't be able to get to that.
Certainly.
There's all kinds of...
Okay. We're just past EI.
Okay. I have my gloves. There's that jet's falling in the back, I guess. Andrew, I'll take your bag. And float it aft gently. I got it.
That might be some plasma now.
Think so, already?
Yes, they're not firing right now.
It was quite a bit, actually.
Unfortunately, there was nothing the people on the ground could do to help. As the shuttle re-entered the Earth's atmosphere, it exploded. All 7 crew members were killed in the disaster. While walking down the street and filming, someone accidentally stumbled upon something extremely creepy.
Oh my God.
Out of nowhere, a bunch of people in red robes holding candles and walking in a group catch the camera's eye. It totally looks like some secret cult meeting happening right here on the street. The whole scene fell straight out of a horror movie, giving anyone who sees it some serious chills. Just a regular night turned into an unexpected peek into some eerie cult vibes. In the wake of chaos, some see an opportunity for wrongdoing. Following the crash, which left a store window shattered, opportunistic looters took advantage of the mayhem. People were captured on video jumping through the store's broken window, grabbing anything they could without any restraint. It's disturbing to think about how these individuals exploited the accident for personal gain, engaging in theft under the guise of confusion. What's even more shocking is the silence around these actions, as if such behavior had somehow become normalized. We've already seen how things can quickly get out of hand south of the border, but this footage is even creepier. It shows drug cartel hitmen, known as sicaros, filling up their trucks and jeeps while heavily armed.
Puros pelones, viejones. Me acabó acá la verga.
Judging by the looks of things, they're on their way to pull off a hit. Sandra Bland was an African-American woman who became the subject of national attention following her death in police custody in July 2015. Bland was pulled over for a routine traffic stop by Texas State Trooper Brian Encina. The encounter escalated, which led to Bland's arrest. 3 days later, though, Sandra was found dead, hanging in her jail cell with a garbage bag around her neck. Surveillance from the jail shows an officer checking Sandra's cell and raising the alarm. Medical professionals arrived on site, but they could do nothing to save her. At first, police said that they would be treating the case just like a murder investigation, but an investigation found that Miss Bland had taken her own life. Bland's initial arrest was captured on dashcam footage, which showed a confrontation between her and Officer Encina. Bland was heard questioning the officer's actions and asserting her rights. She was forcibly removed from her vehicle and arrested.
You just slammed her head into the ground. Do not even care about that.
Sandra's family continued to raise doubts and call for further investigation into her death. This case highlighted issues of police misconduct, racial profiling, and the treatment of individuals with mental health issues within the criminal justice system. In a bizarre turn of events, a former traffic cop turned cult leader claiming to be the reincarnation of Jesus was nabbed by Russian authorities in a dramatic operation. Sergei Torop, or Vissarion as he's known among his devoted followers, has been running his sect nestled deep in Siberia for the past 3 decades.
Сейчас можно будет смело сказать, что 80% населения Земли имеют серьезное психическое отклонение. Но эти люди имеют оружие на руках, а это растет дальше.
Helicopters and masked officers swooped down on their isolated communities, putting an end to their peculiar blend of religious fervor and environmentalism. Torop, with his flowing gray hair and beard, was escorted away, along with two of his closest aides. This cult wasn't your run-of-the-mill Sunday service group. They had some pretty peculiar rules. Veganism was a must. Monetary exchange was a no-go inside their commune. And they even swapped out Christmas for a birthday celebration on January 14th, Visarian's big day. But it seems their leader's divine intervention ran out when Russian authorities decided to crash their party. Now, the fate of their followers hangs in the balance. It's like the ultimate game of spiritual musical chairs, except this time, someone's actually getting arrested. Sometimes, as we've seen before, the universe doesn't hesitate to dish out instant karma for reckless behavior. There's a video that perfectly captures this on a bustling city street. A car boldly tries to pull off a full U-turn among other vehicles, but the move quickly backfires. As the driver wraps up the turn, they lose control and the car skids right into a streetlight. It's a clear reminder that bending traffic rules and putting others at risk can lead to immediate and harsh consequences. Guess that light post wasn't just part of the scenery. People don't generally like to get honked at, but the situation doesn't always have to escalate to road rage. Unfortunately, that's what happened in this situation when a Thai man who had been honked at stormed out of his car holding a gun. At this point, the man who had been honking was already starting to fill up his tank. However, it turns out the honker is an undercover police officer who has a gun of his own. As the assailant attempts to drive away, the officer shoots his tire. Not that it mattered much, as he was driving directly into bumper-to-bumper traffic. In 2021, the Del Norte County Sheriff's Office, based in California, released body cam footage of the fatal shooting of 38-year-old Robert Anderson.
So look at me, baby, just tell me. Baby.
Anderson had been involved in a domestic incident with his wife the night before and was carrying a large kitchen knife when cornered by police on the roadside. His wife was also on the scene, though out of view of the cameras.
And we still talk because y'all worried about the knife. Like, y'all got guns, tasers, every fuck. That's what I'm saying, baby. That's what I'm saying. The control. That's what I was doing. I came clean, right? You don't have to forgive me, but I'm still coming clean.
Anderson is clearly distressed as the police attempt to negotiate his surrender. He talks about police control and coming clean when police have guns and tasers.
Like y'all in y'all uniform, like I've been in uniforms too, and when the truth is the truth is the truth, man. Like y'all don't even know who running y'all, or do y'all know? Do y'all know who running y'all? They don't even care about that. That's what I'm saying. And all they caring about is the knife. And I ain't even got the knife. I'm just a man right here. Right? That's how y'all look at me.
Step away from the knife for a second.
And if I step away from the knife, what that mean? Are you recording, baby?
Anderson has since dropped the knife on the ground and appears ready to give himself up, but then, after a brief conversation with his wife who tells him he's going to jail, Anderson picks up the knife, lunges towards an officer, and is gunned down as he attempts to flee.
Don't, hey!
Picture this. A night filled with mystery and intrigue, shrouded in the secrecy of a legendary secret society. That's exactly what viewers across America witnessed when footage of the Skull and Bones initiation ritual hit the airwaves. Thanks to the investigative prowess of Ron Rosenbaum, 68, and some brave Yale students, we got a peek behind the curtain of this clandestine organization. The scene is set in the eerie courtyard of the Skull and Bones tomb, where cloaked figures gather under the cover of darkness. As the camera pans, we see participants lying on the steps, while others donning cloaks perform what can only be described as macabre theatrics.
New York Observer investigative reporter Ron Rosenbaum accompanied a team of Yale students who shot these pictures 9 days ago. Rosenbaum's curiosity about Skull and Bones was permanently piqued when, as a classmate of George W. Bush, he lived right next to the tomb, the group's heavily fortified home. From their perch, Rosenbaum and his cohorts taped the tomb's courtyard. What they captured, they say, was initiates, known as neophytes, being forced to kiss a skull.
Shouts of "Kiss the Skull" echo through the night, as if straight out of a horror movie. But wait, there's more. In the background, a distorted voice adds to the chilling atmosphere, making it seem like something out of a conspiracy theorist's wildest dreams. However, not everyone was convinced by the footage. Stephen McDonald, 73, a Skull and Bones alumni member, expressed disbelief, suggesting that the events may have been staged. Well, if that's the case, someone deserves an Oscar for their performance. In the end, whether it was a genuine initiation or a theatrical production, one thing's for sure: the Skull and Bones Society continues to capture the imagination of the public. Who knows what other secrets lie within those hallowed halls? Here's something you don't see every day: a neighborhood argument escalating to the point of car chase and close calls, all captured on a bystander's video. The footage shows a bizarre scene where a heated exchange between a man in his car and a woman on the street takes a sudden and alarming turn. As the argument heats up, the man begins to drive in circles around the neighborhood, with the woman trying to reason with him from a distance. But in a crazy twist, the car speeds up and, unbelievably, heads straight for the woman. Miraculously, she manages to avoid serious injury even as the vehicle makes contact.
Oh, God, she done red shot over, Shuttle. Oh!
What could have possibly led to this extreme reaction? Was it road rage taken to new heights, or something said in the heat of the moment that pushed the driver over the edge? Whatever the backstory, it's clear that tensions were running higher than usual. This could be a scene straight out of a suspenseful crime drama, but sadly, it's all too real. In Houston, a 59-year-old woman was attacked right outside of her own home, and shockingly, the attackers were very young. The incident, caught on surveillance footage released by a neighbor, starts with two boys on bikes appearing to chat innocently. But quickly, the scene darkens. Maddie Monslave, a local resident, noted that the woman had a strained relationship with her neighbors, worsened by her deteriorating mental health.
Lately, it's been getting worse. She was like telling me that she was gonna cut me if I didn't back off.
Earlier that day, she was seen taking items from yard workers and damaging her vehicles. The footage shows the woman shooing the boys away only for them to return 10 minutes later, now with clear intent. The younger boy wore oversized blue gloves, while the older wore black gloves. Shockingly, it was the older boy who then pulled an object from his pants and charged at the woman in her garage. He quickly fled after the assault as the woman collapsed. The boys then jumped back on their bikes and sped away. Never did any of us think it would be kids from the neighborhood who would come and attack her, Monslave said, reflecting the community's disbelief.
I think these kids just didn't know any better, so they retaliated.
Given her fragile state, family members regularly checked on her. After the attack, her brother found her and rushed her to the hospital where she underwent surgery in critical condition. Just 2 blocks away, sheriff's deputies converged on another home. Footage shows a deputy escorting a small boy from a patrol car into the house. While the deputies did not confirm if the boys lived there, they did mention that the children were from the same neighborhood. Mexico is a dangerous place, especially if you're not on your guard. This terrifying footage from Sonora shows 2 women being kidnapped in broad daylight. While filling up their tanks, heavily armed men simply walk up to the car and drag them out, placing them into a nearby truck. The gas station is crowded, but nobody makes a move to help. This is probably because they know Sonora is a drug cartel country, and those are not the sorts of enemies you want to make. This next clip was taken on board Yeti Airlines Flight 691. The plane was making its 3rd trip of the day between Tribhuvan International Airport and Pokhara International Airport, both located in Nepal. One passenger decided to start filming as the plane made its approach to Pokhara. All seemed well at first and everyone was smiling and laughing, but then disaster struck. Screams can be heard, followed by a loud crash, and then, eerily, the camera is engulfed by flames. Another angle shows the plane banking sharply, which experts say was due to a pilot error. 72 people were killed in that crash. the dense jungles of Guyana, a horrifying chapter unfolded as Jim Jones, the charismatic leader of the People's Temple, orchestrated one of the deadliest mass murders in history, claiming the lives of 909 followers, including 300 children, in a single tragic day. Jim Jones started the People's Temple in Indianapolis during the 1950s. He was a charismatic leader who advocated against racism, attracting a large following, especially from the African American community. By 1965, he had moved his congregation to Northern California, first settling in Ukiah and later in San Francisco. During the 1970s, allegations of financial fraud, physical abuse, and child mistreatment surfaced against the church, which led to increasing scrutiny from the media. In an attempt to escape growing criticism, Jones, who was becoming increasingly paranoid and was also struggling with drug addiction, convinced his congregation to relocate to Guyana, promising a socialist utopia. They established Jonestown, but life there was far from the paradise he had promised. Residents worked long hours under harsh conditions, faced severe punishments for dissent, and lived under constant surveillance, with their communications censored and movements restricted. The situation reached a boiling point when U.S. Congressman Leo Ryan visited Jonestown in November 1978, following concerns raised by former members and relatives of current members.
People play games, friend. They lie, they lie. What can I do about lies? Are you people going to leave us? I just beg you, please.
The visit ended in tragedy when Jones, panicked by defections from his group, ordered an attack on Ryan and his delegation, resulting in Ryan's death along with 4 others as they attempted to leave. The following day, Jones orchestrated a final, devastating act. He gathered his followers and ordered them to participate in what he called a revolutionary act of syringes were used to administer a lethal mixture of cyanide, sedatives, and fruit juice to the children, followed by the adults under the watch of armed guards. When Guyanese authorities arrived at the site, they were met with a harrowing scene. Hundreds of bodies, many in embraces, strewn across the commune. A small number of residents managed to flee into the jungle, and several dozen, including Jones's sons, survived as they were away from Jonestown at the time. Here's a neighborhood mystery that might just give the local ghost hunters a run for their money. Imagine this. A porch light at a neighbor's house starts flashing randomly, and no one's been home for the last 6 months. Yeah, it's been flickering on and off for weeks now, and it's got everyone talking.
Have a car. Oh my god. No, that's great. My brain is like, it's funny though.
Caught on camera, this spooky light show isn't just a one-time event. It's like the house decided to throw its disco party without inviting any of the neighbors. Maybe it's trying to signal outer space or just practicing for Halloween way ahead of schedule. Whatever the case, this unoccupied home's flashing light is turning heads and raising eyebrows in the neighborhood.
Give me the keys, give me your money, everything. Keys, everything.
In a chilling example of criminal audacity, a mother and her child faced a terrifying ordeal right on their own doorstep. Caught on a doorbell camera, this incident happened just as they were getting home from a shopping trip. They were suddenly confronted by 2 armed men demanding their stuff. The video shows the tense moments, with the robbers loudly demanding the keys and the woman's purse.
Give me the keys, give me your money, everything. Keys, everything. Money, keys, purse. Here the keys, purse.
In a panic, the mother quickly handed over her belongings. But as the robbers snatched the purse and began to bolt, the plot thickened when the husband, hearing the commotion, swung the door open. His abrupt appearance spooked the criminals, sending them sprinting off into the street.
Can you imagine a man and a woman who are married? And the man...
He's trying to, but she's harassing him.
The woman is in love with him. The guy murders himself and he gets 72 fucking virgins. What does she get out of it? Drive on. Get out of it. Huh? Does she get 72 fucking...
Some people simply can't resist causing trouble, and this woman appears to be one of them. She's literally walking around the gas station store saying insane, profane things to complete strangers. She first targets a Muslim man, who she continually harasses about terrorism while making explicit sexual comments.
Because what is the woman get out of it? The woman that you married, and you married her, and you love her, and you're gonna fucking murder her? You get out of my face. Get the
stop harassing people.
Get from me.
You're following your mind. You're following me.
She then moves on to several other customers who become worried about her mental health.
How'd you even end up here? How'd your drunk ass end up here? How'd your drunk ass end up here?
Shut the
back or do you know what date is? Month?
Listen,
on their way.
I know exactly where I am, okay? And I know exactly who created you. Get your hand off me, motherfucker! You touch me again, motherfucker!
She's not going to follow us.
See what happens to you. I dare you to touch me one more time!
Charles?
Keep your hands off me.
Charles, come over here.
Don't do it.
Come over here. She is not worth anything.
She is told to leave several times, yet she refuses to do so. After what seems like an eternity, the cops finally show up and take her away.
Push me, mother. Do you know what's gonna happen to you? Unless you repent and ask Jesus Christ to forgive
Maybe you should ask Jesus Christ.
You have any
Maybe you should ask all the gods.
You're acting.
On New Year's Day, 2024, a shocking incident took place at an airport in Utah that resulted in the death of 30-year-old Kyler Effinger. Footage shows Mr. Effinger waiting at the gate, having just missed his flight. He was due to fly to Denver to visit his sick grandfather, but after running late, the stress caused him to suffer a manic episode. We see him running to an adjacent boarding gate, attempting to pull the door open and even trying to smash a window to get onto the runway. When this fails, Kyler locates an emergency exit and makes his way down to the tarmac without wearing any shoes. Next, he can be seen running towards the plane. What happened afterwards is too graphic to show, but reports say he jumped into the Delta aircraft's turbine and was pronounced dead on the scene. When Alex Jones released his legendary footage of the Cremation of Care ritual from the Bohemian Grove, it unveiled a hidden world where some of the most powerful men gather each year, tucked away among the redwoods in Monte Rio, California. The Bohemian Grove has been the site of this ancient Canaanite Luciferian ritual since 1881. Captured on video, you see a group of men, all part of an elite club, participating in a ceremony with a massive 40-foot owl looming in the background. This owl, famously voiced for years by broadcaster Walter Cronkite, watches over the Cremation of Care, a ritual meant to symbolize the shedding of worries and responsibilities.
after year, he burned me in this room, lifting your puny shouts of triumph to the stars. But when again, he turned your faces to the marketplace, do ye not find me waiting as of old? Fools! Fools! Fools to dream ye conquer care!
Every July, this 2,700-acre campground hosts an exclusive 2-week encampment attended by business leaders, U.S. presidents, senior media executives, and other influential figures. Not just a place for dark rituals, the Grove is also known for historic events, like the planning meeting for the Manhattan Project in 1942, which led to the development of the atomic bomb. Even President Richard Nixon reminisced about his lakeside speech there in 1967, a pivotal moment he credited on his path to the presidency. In a scene straight out of a suspense thriller, a video captured from a homeowner's window shows a mysterious figure standing motionless in the pouring rain. It's 5 a.m., dark and stormy, and there, just beyond the reach of the porch light, is a person holding an umbrella, utterly still, facing the house. The video, which has sent shivers down the spine of neighbors and online viewers alike, raises more questions than answers. Who is the silent watcher? What brings them there in such harsh weather conditions, and why just stand there staring at the house? Whatever the case, this unexpected visitor has become the talk of the neighborhood, turning a simple video into a viral ghost story. So, next time it rains at 5 a.m., you might want to peek through your curtains, just in case the mysterious umbrella holder decides to visit your front yard too. It's a common misconception that individuals with disabilities are incapable of wrongdoing.
Just stay back. I'm going to call the guards.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, stay back.
Go on.
Just stay back, Thomas.
Sorry?
Just stay back.
No, this is my flat.
No, this is your place, but you cannot do this.
Go to hell.
No, just stay back.
Go to hell.
However, a shocking video from the UK challenges this concept, demonstrating that human malice knows no bounds. The footage shows a disabled elderly man attempting to unlawfully evict his Indian tenant. The method? He tries to cut through the door with an electric saw.
Stay back. Are you mad? I am. I'm mad at you. Are you mad? I am. Do you think I wouldn't do it? I fucking split you open, you bastard. You got it?
Just stay back. I'm going to call the guards.
Call the guards?
Yeah, I'll call the guards.
Go on, call the guards.
Yeah, I will call the guards. Just stay back. Stay back. I'll call the guards.
I don't
they
give
will
a
decide.
shit about your family or nothing. You will lose more than you ever lost.
I can see that.
You're
As time has gone on, gas stations have broadened their horizons and begun to include new attractions to generate customers. One examples are the video slots you now see at convenience stores around the US. Yet this video proves that those slots might actually be more trouble than they're worth. The footage shows a man tampering with the front of the machine in an attempt to access the cash inside. As he stuffs the money into his jacket, he's completely unaware that he's on film. Considering he's just a few feet away from another player shows how bold robbers can be. According to the report, the thief made off with $7,900. When Arizona deputies pulled over a trailer after reports of human fingers seen from the inside, they couldn't have predicted the horrifying scene they were about to uncover. Newly released body cam footage from August 2022 shows a tense traffic stop involving Samuel Bateman, a self-proclaimed prophet and polygamous cult leader. The video captures deputies as they approach the trailer and confront Bateman, who defiantly tells them, "I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to tell you anything."
Come over here, please. I'm going to get that knife off you, sir, okay? Any other weapons on you? No. Okay. Come over here, please. We're out here because there is supposed to be people back there.
How many other people in the truck? How many other people are in the truck? Well, I just want to know who's inside the truck right now, so that way I know who else we're dealing with here. Or else I'm going to call everybody out.
As you can see, it's a pretty serious deal here, sir. What is your name?
Samuel.
Samuel what?
Do I have to tell you my name?
I'm asking for your name.
Yeah, but I don't have to tell you, right?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
What is your name? What is your date of birth, sir?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. Go ahead, sir. Turn off on your back.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back. You are being detained until you identify yourself.
Do I have to tell my name?
Yes, you have to identify yourself. You are being detained for a crime. What I'm looking at, after discussing that with that sergeant, so.
I'm all just there right now. I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. Go ahead, see.
There was fingers at the intersection. There was fingers out the door. So there's people in the trailer.
It sounds like someone's in there.
Despite his resistance, the officers proceed to open the trailer, revealing 3 young girls ages 11 to 14 living in deplorable conditions with makeshift seats, a porta potty, a couch, blankets, food, and a stroller.
This is the police! We're going to be opening the door! I want your hands empty and above your head! If you do not, you will suffer the consequences! Again, this is the police!
Pull down the handle.
Where are the hands? Let's see the hands!
Let's get that other door open.
There was hands sticking out of the top of the trailer. There's hands sticking out of the top of the trailer earlier. Let's see them. Let's see your hands. They're in the front.
Behind the curtain.
Okay. Keep your hands up for me. Go and walk out towards me, okay? Try not to slip, all right? Just keep walking. Is there anybody else inside the trailer? No? Perfect.
A deputy explains the gravity of their discovery to Bateman and several women identified as his wives. We were getting calls about hands sticking out of a vehicle, out of the trailer. That is why we are contacting you guys, because it's unsafe for children to be riding in a trailer. Following this encounter, Bateman was detained and later faced federal and state charges including kidnapping and tampering with evidence, to which he pleaded not guilty.
Yeah, you should give your dog. Get the away from me! Their dog is fucking
In a harrowing series of events captured by a doorbell camera, a neighborhood dispute takes a dangerous turn as a family is repeatedly harassed by their neighbor's aggressive dogs. The footage begins with a scene where one of the dogs attacks a woman right outside of her home.
Let's go! Get your goddamn
dog! Control them! Control them! That's you need to control your goddamn dog!
The situation escalates quickly as the video shows the same dog later breaking into her house and launching another attack. The indoor footage is particularly disturbing. It captures the moment the dog forcefully enters the home and goes after the woman again. Her screams and cries are heard, indicating a possibly serious bite, making the situation even more tense. In a concerning turn of events that's shaking public trust in law enforcement, the Baltimore Police Department has had to suspend 7 officers. This move came after body camera footage surfaced, hinting at misconduct during a traffic stop. Remarkably, the second similar incident in just 2 weeks. The footage shows officers allegedly planting drugs in a car. Here's what went down.
No, I know. Let me do the back of this. You do the trunk, Keith? Yeah. Under the spare tire? Yep. Is your license in here? Yeah, everything is okay.
One officer can be seen crouching by the driver's seat while his buddies look on. After he steps away, the officers turn on their cameras, which starts recording audio. Interestingly, these cameras also keep silent footage of the 30 seconds before they're activated, showing what the officers were doing just before without any sound. The plot thickens when, after rechecking the same spot, an officer suddenly finds a black bag and claims it's the source of the marijuana smell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I knew it. I thought they were freaking out.
That's the weed smell right there,
That's
too.
why they were freaking out.
Oh, these are like little 5s.
Yeah. She had a maximum 5 weed and 5 jacket box.
These little small bags, and here's some dirt.
Hey, I'm gonna go hot just for this recovery and everything.
Yeah.
But I've been off because I wasn't obviously hiding, so. Want me to give Sergeant a call? Yeah.
Hey, we're good.
I'm gonna kill you. Have me all nervous.
You want to call them, make sure they know that. They go through 62.
This series of events has seriously called into question the integrity of these officers and kicked off an internal investigation. Some countries lack improper safety infrastructure, which can pose hazards during even routine events. A perfect example happened in Nigeria in 2022, when an entire bus caught fire while filling up at a local petrol station. Footage shows people rushing to get out of the bus, jumping out windows and prying open doors as the cabin fills with smoke. Fortunately, most people stayed on hand to help rather than running away, which is why nobody was hurt in the end. There has been a dangerous trend in recent years of people filming themselves driving at high speeds. In 2015, police in England sent out a reminder of just how disastrous and often fatal this trend can be. Kyle Careford, age 20, was filmed by his friend Michael Owen, age 21, driving at speeds of up to 90 miles per hour through the Sussex countryside.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Go on, got you. Go on, go on.
A spokesman for the police described how the pair had taken a cocktail of prescription and illegal drugs, causing severe toxicity that would have had a severely detrimental effect on Kyle's ability to control the car. Kyle's driving can be seen getting increasingly reckless as he drives on the wrong side of the road, and Michael tells the camera that they nearly ran over someone. As their speed increases, shown by a shot of the speed dial, they enter a residential area, and that's when it happens.
We're doing 90, bro. So down, so I just been that close, so down.
The Renault Clio crashes into a church wall. Both men were declared dead soon after. Police hope the footage will warn others and stop them from attempting to do the same. Newly surfaced video footage captures the harrowing moment Utah authorities rescued two young girls from the clutches of a sinister doomsday cult led by their own fathers.
Cedar 1 to
over here,
B15.
sweetie? Is it that one?
Who's in here? Correction, I need command. Is she okay? Are you doing okay in there? Okay, you want to come out here?
Picture this. Police stumble upon the girls, ages 7 and 4, stuffed inside blue water barrels on a desolate property used by the Knights of the Crystal Blade cult. As if the sight of the frightened girls wasn't chilling enough, there was even a loaded gun nearby, adding to the sense of danger and desperation. But the horror doesn't end there. When asked about their two sisters, the girls suggest they're also being held captive in containers.
Who's gone? Where's your sister? What's her name? You're Where's the other two girls?
They're in the storage container.
Which one?
The red one.
One of these?
No. A storage container very far away.
But fear not, because our heroes in uniform swoop in to save the day, coaxing these shivering girls into a warm vehicle and ensuring their safety.
Cover up with your blankie.
And as for the cult leaders responsible for this nightmare, well, let's just say they're getting a one-way ticket to prison, serving lengthy sentences for unspeakable crimes against their own children.
up there, we all heard this girl screaming bloody murder, help me.
In a harrowing event captured on body cam footage, Florida deputies were called to a home in Pompano Beach after neighbors reported hearing disturbing screams in September. The situation escalated dramatically by October when Paul Henry DiGiacinto was implicated in the murder of his girlfriend, Kayla Arce, and the attempted murder of his father in Coral Springs.
Broward County Sheriff's Office. This happens all the time. Broward County Sheriff's Office.
That guy, he scares the shit out of me.
Do you hear it still in your apartment or not? You're at the door, so open it up.
Every day. Every day here.
I can hear you at the door.
Open the door, it's the sheriff's office.
All right, due to exigent circumstances, we're 10-4. Due to exigent circumstances, if we have to go ahead and break the door down or get someone with the key to open the door, we will. We just need to find out if everybody's okay. There's no way in the world you didn't hear us knocking at that door.
Shut it off, throw the keys down. Throw the keys down. Throw the keys down. Throw the keys down.
You got any guns, knives, weapons, anything on you we need to know about? Nothing at all?
At all.
Okay.
Why didn't you guys come to the door?
Why didn't you come to the door?
We banged.
Why are you shaking so? Why are you shaking?
You guys just came out of nowhere and I showered.
Okay, you came out of nowhere. You heard us knocking on that door the whole time.
We literally are going
You didn't hear us knocking. We're banging the hell out of the door. Why didn't you guys come to the door?
We're downstairs.
We banged pretty hard.
Why are you shaking?
You guys just came out of nowhere and I showered.
Okay, you came out of nowhere. You heard us knocking on that door the whole time.
We literally are going
You didn't hear us knocking. We're banging the hell out of the door.
Okay,
My
so
hands
I
are red
saw-
banging on the door.
Downstairs.
And you didn't hear us.
We're downstairs.
Anybody else
I'm
inside?
sorry, nobody else is inside. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on.
Your neighbors and everybody heard you screaming. Heard her screaming. Like something was wrong. And then she's not answering, so therefore that gives us even more of a suspicious incident where we got to go and find out who's alive and who's dead, or see if anybody's okay. That's where we're coming from.
Okay, I mean, yeah, but everyone's fine. I mean,
This shocking case has left the community and Ars's friends seeking answers and justice for a life cut tragically short. I was walking into the store here. I put my hand on the door and I heard a loud bang and yelling at the corner. Recounted Shane Ramsch, a man who narrowly escaped a bizarre and dangerous incident. Earlier this year, right outside of a store, a saw blade, seemingly coming from nowhere, sped across the parking lot at an alarming rate. Caught on the store's security camera, you can see Shane just stepping into the store. Within moments, the saw blade rolls quickly across the ground in the same direction as Shane, and if he had taken just a few seconds longer to enter, he might not have lived to tell his story. The store owner mentioned that everyone shopping was in shock when the blade slammed into the wall. In a terrifying attack, a man walked into a gas station convenience store in North Carolina with a crowbar and began destroying virtually everything in sight. Both clerks and customers rush to get out of the way, but the man simply keeps pounding away. His motivation apparently stemmed from the fact that the store was owned by Asian Americans. Unfortunately, this has become a regular occurrence across much of the world since the pandemic.
Somebody, how you coming, bro?
Juice WRLD, whose real name was Jared Anthony Higgins, was an American rapper with a promising career. Seen here flying on a private Gulfstream jet from LA to Chicago, these would sadly be his final moments. Upon arrival at the airport, police would search the plane for drugs and Higgins would swallow several unknown pills in an attempt to hide them. As a result, he soon began convulsing and seizing. Despite medics doing their best to save him, Juice WRLD died on December 8, 2019. A subsequent report revealed he died from toxic levels of oxycodone and codeine. In a cozy-looking video, we see the 12 Tribes cult members gathered around a dinner table, singing, laughing, and playing the guitar. It seems like a pretty fun night, right? But this clip is just the glossy cover of a much darker book. The 12 Tribes might give off hippie vibes with their back to the basics, Christian lifestyle, and organic farms. And they even run some quaint cafes that seem totally harmless. However, when you dig a bit deeper, you start to see the cracks in the facade. This group has a sketchy side, rejecting modern medicine, embracing troubling teachings on race and sexuality, and even breaking child labor laws. The group is well known for its stringent community rules. Members live communally in properties owned by the group, sharing resources and responsibilities. Adults and children alike participate in long hours of labor, which has led to allegations of child labor violations. The group's stance against modern medicine has resulted in numerous health issues among members, sometimes even leading to death. Members are encouraged to cut ties with the outside world, including giving up their personal possessions and sometimes even changing their names to signify their new life in the community. Their teachings also include deeply problematic views on race and sexuality. For example, they've described slavery as a marvelous opportunity for Black people and declared that homosexuals deserve death, according to their interpretation of biblical law. These extreme views have led to significant criticism and have categorized them as a hate group by some observers. So, while the video shows a group of people having a great time, it's not showing the full story.
I don't totally agree. Hey, drop us out. How do I guess? Did you get your hair?
It's a classic case of looks can be deceiving, reminding us to peek behind the curtain and question what's really going on. Talk about a shocking home makeover nobody asked for. Imagine you're just chilling at home, and suddenly it's raining plaster and glass, thanks to your upstairs neighbor's accidental gun discharge. That's exactly the scene captured in a crazy video where a bullet from above blasts through the ceiling, leaving a hole and a shower of debris. The footage shows a living room turned impromptu shooting range target, with shattered glass and chunks of ceiling scattered all over the furniture.
Oh my fucking god, how much just died? They just fucking accidentally shot their gun. And I was sitting right here.
It's like the upstairs neighbor was trying to start a very aggressive and unannounced home renovation project on your behalf. Meanwhile, you might want to invest in a helmet or maybe a more predictable upstairs neighbor. In a weird and pretty unsettling story out of Florida, a woman was arrested after she kidnapped 2 dogs. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. When the cops checked out her place, they didn't just find the 2 dogs she was reported for. They found over 20 others living with her. This whole situation throws up a ton of questions about what she was up to and how those animals were living. Snatching pets from their homes is bad enough, but piling up such a huge number of dogs at her house points to some serious lapses in both legal and ethical thinking. This discovery has kicked off a wider investigation into her actions, like figuring out how she ended up with so many dogs, and if there are any other local pets that have gone missing recently. Boys love their toys, but in this case, it seems like they might end up losing them for good. This footage shows a group of men on dirt bikes and four-wheelers attempting to intimidate a man in a red jacket who is apparently being protected by the police.
Isso aqui é Califórnia.
At one point, the man on the four-wheeler simply runs over the guy, knocking him against the metal pole.
Matou o cara, olha. Atropelou o cara.
The police attempt to intervene, but there's simply not much they can do while on foot. Fortunately, another cop is in hot pursuit. Among the happy holiday goers on this banana boat was Janice, a 58-year-old mother from Bristol, England. She had booked a family trip to Hurghada, Egypt, and was supposed to be a relaxing time filled with culture and entertainment. Tragically, events took a devastating turn for the worse. While traveling on the banana boat, it flipped over, as they tend to do. However, Janice became trapped and couldn't breathe for several minutes. By the time she was pulled from the water, the mother was no longer conscious. Efforts to perform CPR were unsuccessful and Janice sadly passed away. When you think you've seen it all on YouTube, along comes an ad that really pushes the envelope. Imagine casually browsing through videos when suddenly a man appears on your screen, eagerly advertising a cult. Yeah, you heard that right. A cult. With unnerving eyes and an unsettling amount of enthusiasm, he pitches, "We're cult members. Welcome to the good cult."
Well, you're simply that, a good cult. And quite frankly, I don't think that we're just a good cult. I think we're the best cult. And that's not because of me, that's because of you. Our members, our cult members. You know, people think we have some pretty wild ideas. Their imagination is overactive. But here at Good Cult, we realize the world isn't limited to what we can see and what we can touch, but what we can dream. And that's what we do. We dream. Imagine what you can do. All we want is more creativity, more conviction, more passion, more compassion.
His excitement and the way his eyes widen as he talks about the good cult are enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. His speech goes on with a creepy sort of invitation. All you have to do is be you, and that's all we can ever ask for.
And you don't have to do anything special to join us. You don't have to be initiated. All you have to do is be you. And that's all we could ever ask for. But you should be proud. Welcome to Good Cult.
He tries to assure viewers that while cults usually get a bad rap, you should feel proud to be part of this one. Talk about a marketing strategy that's more cult classic horror than feel-good community.
everything that you put on me. Don't worry, the youngest of the light.
In a neighborhood drama, a raw moment of karmic justice is captured. Frustrated by their neighbors' continuous disrespect and dumping trash on their property, one household decides enough is enough and takes a stand. The trashy neighbors, probably feeling a bit cheeky, start filming the whole counterattack. They're ticked off, but come on, they started it, right? It's like they forgot that they were the instigators in this garbage saga. Things get so heated that officers show up to cool everyone down.
Get down off there so you don't kill yourself. Jump off, please. Listen to me now. You have called the police. If you're gonna do this, then we're gonna leave. If there's someone on the other side of that wall, you're gonna Don't you put your hands on me, buddy. You're picking up pieces of wood and chucking over a wall. I know, but police are here now.
An innocent motorcyclist got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time during an illegal street racing incident. As we see in other parts of the video, some people's risky choices can seriously impact others. Street racing might be a thrill for those behind the wheel, but it is super dangerous, not just for the racers but also for anyone else nearby who didn't sign up for this kind of danger. In this case, the motorcyclist was just out enjoying a ride when suddenly he found himself dodging cars zooming by at crazy speeds. He barely had a moment to realize the danger before one of the racing cars smashed into him, leading to a pretty serious crash. A credit card skimmer is a small, illicit device designed to steal credit card information. These devices are often secretly attached to legitimate card readers, such as those on ATMs, gas station pumps, or point-of-sale terminals. This footage shows one savvy customer finding a skimmer at their local gas station mini-mart. To add insult to injury, he simply walks out with it while the gas station attendant threatens him.
Just did it again. That's crazy. I'm not gonna pay card. That's crazy, man.
That's actually insane.
No, I'm gonna take it. Thanks though.
You can't do that.
What's the crime? Stealing his ability to steal? Let's hope authorities were called ASAP. A former NBA G League star and his ex-girlfriend were indicted for murder when CCTV helped link them to their victim in her final moments. The body of 23-year-old Mariana Rogers was found in a desert, stripped, bloodied, and buried under a pile of rocks. Surveillance footage captured Rogers entering a Las Vegas liquor store with 19-year-old Sakari Harnden on the 6th of December 2023. At that time, former G League basketballer 27-year-old Chance Comanche was in town for a game and was also caught on camera with Harnden at a different store. Rogers and Harnden were reportedly sex workers, and Comanche is said to have posed as a client while plotting to kill Rogers. Comanche confessed to detectives and led them to Rogers' body. Now he and Harnden are charged with murder, kidnapping, and 2 counts of conspiracy. Spanish police have arrested a cult leader who thought he could achieve total transcendence by doping his followers with a bizarre homemade elixir. Jose Manuel Canovas, 50, was busted in Murcia, Spain after authorities raided his massive 24-acre compound, complete with secret labs straight out of a sci-fi movie. Canovas, head of the Mahashandi Foundation, allegedly brewed up a potion he called purified mercury to control his followers' minds. But his attempts at mind control went south when some of his devotees started showing signs of mercury poisoning. Turns out, his elixir wasn't exactly the elixir of life. During the raid, police found a whopping 400 pounds of mercury stashed away on the property. And if that wasn't enough, traces of the toxic metal were found in the septic tanks. Looks like Canovas was aiming for total transcendence straight into the Twilight Zone. Next time someone offers you a drink labeled purified mercury, maybe just stick to water.
Hi. Please wait. It may take me a moment to answer.
Ever wonder what kind of drama a doorbell camera can catch? Well, here's one. The footage shows an armed man, known in the neighborhood as the local troublemaker, standing at a doorstep, knocking and then delivering a not-so-friendly message directly to the camera. The man, who apparently makes a habit of this kind of behavior, demands that the residents open the door, waving his weapon. He doesn't just stop banging and yelling. He starts threatening whoever's on the other side of the door, giving the camera a good view of his aggressive intentions.
See me? Better remember my face right to this door before I break this shit down. I'll break this shit down, throw your head off. Answer that door.
Social media users who caught the video recognized him as the neighborhood menace who had been frightening locals with similar incidents. Thankfully, this doorbell video led to his arrest, and he was charged with criminal menacing. It's one of those times when you're grateful for modern tech catching the action live, proving that sometimes your doorbell is the best witness to the crazy on your doorstep. Many people try to scam insurance companies by claiming compensation for accidents that never happened, but this case takes it to another level. A video captures a woman who endangers her son's life to fake a hit-and-run accident for insurance money. The footage shows them standing on the sidewalk as a van approaches. Seizing the moment, the mother grabs her son and pulls him towards the vehicle, attempting to simulate a collision. The most shocking part comes next. Realizing her plan has failed, she dramatically throws herself to the ground. Scamming is undeniably wrong, but involving your young child in such a dangerous scheme truly crosses a line. In a rare instance of crime caught on camera, a man in California had himself a real Grand Theft Auto moment when a newscopter catches him attempting to break into a pickup truck. The suspect, who was already being pursued by the police, then gets back in his original vehicle and speeds off before finally finding an open van. After ramming a police car, the suspect leads the police on an insane chase with one flat rear tire smoking and sparking. After finding himself stuck again, the suspect jumps out of the car and continues to run. This time, he enters a home where he demands the keys from the homeowner and steals their truck, making this vehicle number 3 in a single pursuit. After several more minutes of evading the police, the suspect finds his vehicle disabled yet again, this time the front driver's seat side tire. Finally, the suspect crashes into a gas pump just as the police let loose with a barrage of bullets. Amazingly, the suspect survives, but it's going to be a long time before he sees the outdoors again. Children should always be supervised, and this heartbreaking footage shows why. A 7-year-old boy died after he accidentally locked himself in the trunk of a car. He had been in there for hours while temperatures outside rose to a sweltering 37 degrees Celsius, or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. CCTV captured the incident, helping to locate the boy, though sadly, it was too late. In this mysterious video, we're treated to a bizarre dance ritual allegedly performed at the Freemasons meeting with none other than the Rothschilds, the secretive family rumored to control trillions of dollars in assets. Now, picture the scene. A woman, center stage, dancing away in front of 3 men lounging in armchairs, surrounded by eerie symbols reminiscent of a secret society gathering. As the video plays out, viewers are left scratching their heads, wondering what exactly is going on behind closed doors at these Freemasons meetings. Is it a harmless dance party, or is there something more sinister at play? Some are even claiming that it's a satanic ritual unfolding before our eyes. Despite the ominous atmosphere and cryptic symbols, we're left with more questions than answers. Details are scarce, and the secrecy surrounding Freemasons meetings only adds fuel to the fire of speculation. In the end, Whether you believe it's a harmless dance-off or a diabolical plot orchestrated by shadowy entities, one thing's for sure. This video is enough to make anyone do a double take. So, next time you're invited to a Freemasons gathering, maybe bring your dance shoes, just in case you need to bust out some moves to summon the spirits. Days before the tragic discovery of Ryan Walker Padovani's body, Walter Zollner III, the man later charged with his murder, released a disturbing video on YouTube that now serves as a prelude to the crime. In the video, dated March 4th, just one day before Padovani was found deceased, Zollner made unsettling revelations about his mental state.
Good afternoon. If you are wondering, God is real, devils are real, and even ancient eldritch gods that can possess you are real. How do I know this? Because I got tricked into selling my soul. Don't listen to the voices in your head unless it's God himself, in which case, make sure you pay attention to the guy because he knows what he's talking about. Otherwise, if it's any of those other fallen angels or demons, or they try to call themselves spirits, don't listen to them. They're full of it, and they want your soul.
Appearing visibly disturbed, Zollner claimed that he had sold his soul, was possessed by an ancient god, and urgently needed an exorcism. This alarming declaration on social media hinted at his deeply troubled psyche, though investigators noted that there was no known history of mental illness up to that point. Zollner's strange words in that video now form a critical piece of evidence, portraying a man who believed himself to be under the control of the supernatural forces.
I know this because I made a mistake and I agreed to help formulate a godhead, and now I have an old ancient god that I can't name possessing me, and I'm in a bit of trouble. So if you see this and you know anyone who can perform an exorcism, please get in touch with me. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
The case against Zollner strengthened with the discovery of his journal, where he confessed to the crime, and the subsequent raid on his residence uncovered further alarming items, including plans for body armor, weapons, and drugs. Continuing with the theme of reckless actions that endanger others, here's another example that echoes the earlier incident involving the motorcyclist. A recent video captured by a dashcam reveals a dangerous scenario on a busy highway, two cars aggressively chasing and ramming each other, apparently caught up in an improvised race. The footage shows a tense pursuit, with the vehicles exchanging blows, seemingly oblivious to the risk they pose to other drivers. The chase escalates until one of the cars loses control and veers off the road. After the crash, the second car pulls over and several passengers quickly exit and approach the wrecked vehicle. The air is thick with anger as they begin to loudly confront the driver of the red car involved in the accident. This cell phone footage from New Mexico shows a gas station that has been entirely demolished by a car accident. It appears that the truck barely missed a large propane tank on the property, which would have been extremely tragic.
So that narrowly missed that.
I know. Just the explosion and the fire and dust and the parts that came out the window. Because I was standing at the kitchen window.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to come through the window.
You okay? you happen to have those?
However, the gas station has been utterly destroyed by the incident, which appears to have just happened. Hopefully, the authorities arrive soon to help sort out the situation and pick up the debris. In May 2016, a 3-year-old boy climbed into the gorilla enclosure at the Cincinnati Zoo. He was soon grabbed by a male western lowland gorilla and dragged through the water. According to experts, the gorilla, named Harambe, was inspecting the boy's clothing and was not trying to hurt the child. However, concerns for the child's safety led zoo officials to make the difficult decision to shoot and kill Harambe. The incident sparked widespread controversy and debate about the handling of the situation, with this footage capturing the final moments before Harambe was shot. In a bizarre and unsettling video, viewers are confronted with the haunting words of Charles Manson, a notorious cult leader whose legacy is steeped in darkness. As Manson speaks, there's an eerie calmness in his demeanor, almost as if he revels in the chaos and fear he's capable of inciting. But who is Charles Manson? He's not just any ordinary tramp. He's the mastermind behind one of the most infamous cults in history. With his charismatic charm and twisted ideology, Manson led a group of followers known as the Manson family down a path of murder and mayhem in the late 1960s. The chilling quote captures Manson's enigmatic persona perfectly, hitting at the dangerous allure he held over his disciples.
People look at you today, 20 years later, and they still have no idea what you're about. Tell me in a sentence who you are.
Nobody. I'm nobody. I'm a tramp, a bum, a hobo. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. And a straight razor if you get too close to me.
As the video unfolds, viewers are left to ponder the depths of human depravity and the sinister allure of cult rituals. So, the next time someone claims to be nothing more than a humble wanderer, it might be wise to take a step back and reassess their true intentions. After all, you never know when a tramp might turn out to be something far more sinister.
We need to get you out, you thieves! Space invaders! Space invaders! We're sick of you on the Upper West Side, stealing our fancy apartments and not paying your bills, and then you can't even help!
Ever wonder what it's like living above the eye of a storm? Well, here's a slice of life from an apartment where the downstairs neighbor's off-meds days mean everyone's in for a loud treat. At least this is what they said in a Reddit post. A resident captures a video from his house, recording as his neighbor unleashes a verbal hurricane right outside their door. The video picks up every decibel of the neighbor's meltdown, featuring a barrage of accusations and demands.
You can't even help a neighbor! You can't even help a woman! Because you need us to steal! You stupid You had to slam the door on me! Everything is peeling downstairs!
She's not just upset. She's convinced her upstairs neighbors are criminals who need to pack up and move out stat. And really, who could blame anyone for not wanting to open the door to a personal verbal smackdown?
At least when they come up to save you, make sure you tell them that I banged on the door and nobody opened it because you look like a criminal
In yet another instance of teachers behaving inappropriately, a shocking incident occurred at Lake Central High School in St. John, Indiana. Samantha Cox, a 24-year-old English teacher, was arrested and led out in handcuffs after students reported her for using drugs in her classroom. The ordeal began when student John Rogers captured a cell phone video of Cox allegedly snorting what police suspect could have been a mixture of cocaine and heroin. According to Rogers, Cox tried to hide her actions by positioning herself in a corner of the classroom where she thought students could not see her.
She tried to hide herself because she wasn't at her desk where we could see. She was on the corner where she thought, like, we can't see her.
Another student, Michael Sanchez, commented on the severity of the situation, noting the heartbreak of seeing someone potentially addicted to drugs.
A lot of people can get addicted to a lot of things, and something like this it's very, heartbreaking.
Following the student's alert, school administrators contacted the St. John police, who then brought in a drug-sniffing dog from Dyer Police. Cox now faces charges of felony drug possession and misdemeanor drug paraphernalia and is being held in Lake County Jail. The response from the school and law enforcement was swift, with St. John Police Chief James Kvedden commending the students for their integrity in reporting the incident. Lake Central Superintendent Larry Veracco assured parents in a robocall that the school took swift and forceful action and reaffirmed that student safety remains a top priority.
I'm just happy that the school, addressed it, and they handled it very well from what I've seen.
I was absolutely horrified to see that video, that they were able to actually witness that and then be able to take out their phones and be able to see that in person.
Drifting is a driving technique where the driver intentionally oversteers, causing a loss of traction in the rear wheels. While it looks pretty amazing, there are places where it is appropriate and places where it is not. This is an example of the latter. As you can see, a driver is attempting to drift their way around a gas station, weaving through the spaces while onlookers watch. On the final approach, however, he hits the pump, knocking it over and causing the fuel to instantly ignite. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Listen to what you've been told, okay? Yeah.
Police video footage has surfaced, revealing the arrest of a cult leader and his partner in Sydney over alleged historical child grooming. William Cam, known as Little Pebble, and his partner Sandra Matheson, also known as Sandra Costelia, were apprehended following a 6-month investigation into allegations of grooming a woman for sexual purposes since she was 6 years old. The allegations are nothing short of horrifying, with Cam allegedly sending letters and gifts to the victim and even making phone calls. The woman, now 19, bravely came forward to report the 13-year-old ordeal to authorities, prompting the arrest of the accused.
Place.
Still, listen to what you've been told, okay? Yeah.
Yeah. No.
According to police, Cam and Matheson purportedly informed the victim that she was chosen to procreate with Cam and help establish a new cult. Detectives raided multiple locations, including a unit in Sydney's CBD and the headquarters of the religious group led by Cam. It takes immense courage for victims to come forward, and their bravery should be commended. So, let's continue to shine a light on these dark corners of society and work towards ensuring the safety and well-being of all individuals, free from exploitation and harm. Ever had a neighbor who thinks that they're the headliner at an unscheduled 1:30 a.m. balcony concert? Well, here's a story for you. A video captured from an across-the-street balcony shows a neighbor turning it up. Not just the music volume, but also his vocal cords, screaming along to the tunes in the middle of the night. In the video, you can see and hear this improvised performer giving his all as if his balcony were the stage of a sold-out arena. The music blasts, his shouts echo, and sleep? Well, that was not on his playlist for the night. It's a scene that mixes a bit of absurdity with a lot of noise pollution. For anyone who's ever thought about joining in on late-night balcony performances, this might serve as a cautionary tale, or maybe just a reminder to buy some earplugs. Sometimes it's really tough to figure out why people do weird things, like in this video where a guy walks into a parking garage and, without any obvious reason, decides to set a car on fire. This wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment action, it was premeditated. On March 3rd in Detroit, he was caught on the parking lot garage's security camera, first throwing a brick through the car's window, then he left, only to come back later to actually set the car on fire. What do you think was his reason? Was there actually any logic behind it, or was the car simply in the wrong place at the wrong time? Kinda makes you wonder if the car ever did something to upset him. Thieves stealing from ATMs has been a problem for gas stations and banks ever since the devices were first invented. However, it's rare that you see a theft of the cash machine itself. This footage from Chicago shows a group of men brazenly walking into a convenience store and violently shaking the ATM until it falls to the ground. Once it does, a third person holds the door while the men wrestle it free and drag it to the back seat of their waiting car. The incident happened in the middle of the night, but took less than 2 minutes to pull off. Can you believe this? Alberto and Maria visit the morgue on Christmas Eve to pay respect to their 1-year-old son, Cyril, only to find his tiny coffin empty.
Depósito a traer flores a nuestro bebé. Se corrió la tapa cuando acariciamos así, nuestro bebé no está. Ya. Nuestro bebé no está. O sea, responsable acá no sé quién, si la municipalidad, no sé quién.
It seems like some really disturbing stuff is going down in the small town of Otamendi, Argentina. Alberto and Maria were told that there were no available plots, so they agreed to store Cyro's remains in a locked room on the grounds until space opened up. But when they went to visit him, he was gone, vanished into thin air like a ghost in the night. The case gets even creepier. The parents' lawyer claims they've got evidence pointing to a satanic cult lurking in the shadows of Otamendi. Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't your run-of-the-mill mystery. It's straight out of a Stephen King novel. Also, Dr. Ana Maria Caro, the leading prosecutor on the case, has her work cut out for her as authorities scour local farms and the surrounding countryside in search of Cyro's missing body. Imagine getting a text from your neighbor asking you to check on his wife because someone suspicious might be lurking around their house. You rush over, ready to help, but find nothing out of the ordinary. Relieved but puzzled, you head back to your home. But then, you check your phone and see a doorbell camera video that sends chills down your spine. The footage reveals a shirtless man approaching your neighbor's door. It's not just his lack of attire that's alarming, it's his whole demeanor. Creepy is an understatement. This guy doesn't look like a friendly visitor. Here's another frustrating example of someone not caring about other people's property. A recent video shows a guy totally losing it in a phone store. The footage captures a pretty intense moment where the man clearly agitated.
Good luck with that kid.
Good luck you have.
Starts lashing out after talking with a store clerk. As things heat up, he begins hurling merchandise and displays to the floor, creating chaos all over the store. The video shows all the havoc unfolding and the clerk's dismay as the place quickly turns into a scene of destruction.
I ain't going nowhere, I'm sitting right here.
He's staying right here.
Yeah.
He's literally throwing everything. He destroyed my speakers, he destroyed my freaking models. He threw over the table, the chairs, my monitors, my computers, everything.
Here's another epic instance of a suspect running from the police. Keep your eye on the white car. The suspect exits the vehicle and strolls into the store, where he appears to be waiting patiently in the corner.
All right, baby. See you later. All right.
Outside, a police vehicle pulls up and an officer appears out of nowhere to attempt to tackle the man. Clearly, we're only seeing the middle of a story that has already been playing out. The first suspect breaks free, while another person who is still in the car speeds off. Footage from multiple gas stations and other businesses catch the first man as he escapes on foot, with cruisers in hot pursuit. In a haunting glimpse into the final moments of the Heaven's Gate cult, members recorded farewell messages before embarking on a tragic mess. This horrifying footage reveals the depths of their devotion to the twisted beliefs propagated by leaders Marshall Herff Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles.
I just want to say how thankful I am to Doe and T for helping me and taking me under their wing, and all my classmates have been so great to me.
My thoughts in these last hours are only of joy and wonder at the thought of going home.
Why am I here? What is the meaning of life? Since I've been in the class, I've learned the answers to all of those.
And couldn't be happier about what we're about to do.
This world has become so corrupt.
So corrupt.
Oh, corrupt. So corrupt.
As long as I exist, I have free will.
And I am doing this of my own free will.
My own free will.
Heaven's Gate, with its bizarre fusion of Christianity and UFOlogy, drew hundreds of followers who were convinced they could transform into immortal extraterrestrial beings. Applewhite, who proclaimed himself the second coming of Jesus, instilled a sense of impending doom, convincing his followers that the end of times was near. As members donned matching shoes and prepared for their final exit, they left behind all these farewell videos, encapsulating the fervor and delusion that consumed them. Imagine sipping your coffee, gazing out your 12th floor window, and suddenly your neighbor pops up from the balcony below to say hi. That's exactly the heart-stopping moment captured in a chilling snapshot, showing an elderly man scaling a high-rise building just to deliver a neighborly greeting. Yes, you heard that right. The senior isn't letting the height stop him from making a personal connection. At least one that's terrifyingly unsafe. His crazy perch on the edge of the balcony makes you wonder if he missed the memo on safer ways to socialize. Like, you know, using a phone. In a shocking incident caught on a bus camera in China, an everyday bus ride quickly turned into a scene of quiet panic. The video shows the bus driver navigating through the city streets when, suddenly, he starts to look unwell. Within moments, it's clear something's wrong. He clutches his head, showing signs of severe dizziness, and then collapses over the steering wheel unconscious. What happens next is as surprising as it is disturbing. Despite the driver's obvious distress and the potential danger, no one on the bus moves to assist him or try to prevent an accident. The bus, now without a conscious driver, drifts and then slightly collides with something off camera. Miraculously, no one is injured, but the silence and inaction of the passengers are deafening. Why did no one step forward to help or at least try to stop the bus? This footage from a gas station in Boston shows just how little it takes for a normal everyday situation to turn deadly. The video shows a white SUV accidentally backing into a parked pickup truck. Its hazards immediately start flashing, scaring the driver. In what seems to be an attempt to escape the hit and run, the person speeds away, smashing through 2 of the gas pumps. The car then heads 2 more vehicles on the other side of the parking lot while the gas station owner rushes to extinguish the flames.
I feel like I was stupid. I should have maybe ran away. I don't know. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be a safe thing to do, but I thought if I could put it out quickly, I could avoid an explosion.
Fortunately, the station's fire suppression system triggers, putting the fire out. Apparently, the driver who ran from the scene on foot had been trying to put air into the tires and had accidentally put the car in drive, not park.
I'd like her to take a drug test, to be honest. You know what I mean? Honestly, I mean, she could have killed somebody.
Body cam footage from a police raid on the Love House 1 cult house in Moffat, Colorado has surfaced, revealing a chilling discovery. As officers moved through the house, they stumbled upon the mummified remains of cult leader Amy Carlson, also known as Mother God.
That's just, I think, decomp mummification. That's what I'm guessing at this point.
Wrapped in a sleeping bag from REI and adorned with Christmas lights, Carlson's body lay in a room filled with rainbow decorations and stuffed animals. It was like stumbling into a twisted holiday horror movie set. The Saguenay County Sheriff's Department released the footage, showing the surreal scene that awaited the officers. As they navigated through the house, the absurdity of the decor contrasted starkly with the grim reality of their discovery. It's a sobering reminder that reality can often be stranger than fiction. Who knew that behind the facade of festive lights and colorful decor lurked such a macabre secret? And here's a thought. If you ever feel like decorating for the holidays is too much of a chore, just remember the story. At least you're not decorating a room with mummified remains. Imagine you're enjoying a quiet day, maybe sipping some iced tea on your balcony, and then you spot a scene that quickly boils your blood, not from the heat, but from frustration. That's what happened to one vigilant neighbor who captured a distressing video of a dog left out on a nearby balcony in the sweltering heat. In the video, the poor dog can be seen desperately seeking shelter from the heat, eventually finding a small shadow under a piece of artificial turf. Yes, you heard that right. This dog's only relief from a potential heat stroke was a synthetic patch of green that's probably hotter than the gossip in the building. The dog pants heavily, with no water or proper shade in sight, which makes you wonder if the owner missed the memo on basic pet care or just skipped the chapter on empathy in the owner's manual.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but the dog is literally hiding under the grass from how hot he is. Again, no food, no water. This poor thing, dude. Look at that sun.
It's one of those moments where you wish pets could choose their humans. This dog's owner might be more suited to owning a rock, something that doesn't require attention, affection, or, water. Another troubling human trait is the lack of respect for other cultures and historical monuments when traveling as tourists. Here's a recent incident that sparked outrage. At the historic World Heritage Site of Chichen Itza, a woman was caught on video climbing the steep stairs of a Mayan pyramid. In front of hundreds of perplexed onlookers, she ascended the pyramid and upon reaching the top, entered the temple and began dancing on the steps.
Boo!
This video also captures other visitors protesting her actions loudly. After she descended to the ground, the traveler was taken to safety, while local onlookers called for her to be jailed for disrespecting such a significant cultural site. I guess some folks think ancient pyramid meets personal dance floor. The surveillance video starts out innocently enough. A man pulls into a gas station to pump gas and more or less goes about his business. However, out of nowhere, 2 cars pull in and several armed police officers jump out. They hold the man at gunpoint while they order him to the ground. Just as they do, yet another police car pulls up. The officer immediately arrests the men and starts searching the vehicle. Before long, they pull out several bags of what appears to be drugs. Someone must have tipped them off big time. Police in Zimbabwe have captured an alleged cult leader, Ismael Chokuongoera, suspected of child abuse and forced marriages. The arrest followed a raid on a compound outside of Harambe, where more than 250 children were found reportedly being exploited and abused. Chokuongoera, who goes by the name Prophet Ismail, was charged after authorities discovered the disturbing conditions in which the children were kept. The compound, resembling a factory, produced various goods for sale, while the sect also engaged in agricultural activities. The cult's followers, clad in long white robes, fervently supported their leader, with one woman declaring, "Come rain, come thunder, we will follow our God." However, police described the situation as one of exploitation, with children subjected to manual labor and denied basic rights. In Rhode Island, a disturbing chain of events led to a tragic police shootout. James Harrison, 52, initiated a high-speed chase after allegedly murdering his mother and a neighbor and critically injuring the neighbor's 15-year-old daughter.
Killed 3 people.
There's 3 entrances up.
Hey, let me see your hands!
Which one are you at? 17, 42.
Let me see your hands!
Watch the crossbar.
Hands! Hands!
The chaos began after a complaint about Harrison peeping into the teenager's bedroom. Despite an initial police response, they couldn't act immediately against Harrison due to legal constraints, which only allowed them to watch as Harrison escalated his violent spree the next day. This ended in a shootout after a car crash when Harrison pointed a gun at officers. Outside a nightclub, a girl laughs at a boy for being in a wheelchair. This cruel scene took place outside a nightclub and is truly heartbreaking. People are in line, and there's a boy in a wheelchair. He had asked her out, and she, feeling superior by rejecting him, began to mock him for his condition. It is clear that humiliating someone in this way doesn't make you superior. However, it is proof that some humans should be extinct.
What's your emergency?
There's a guy over here with a knife trying to stab me from the window.
Okay, where are you?
I'm here in Midtown 7.
Okay, and what's the phone number in case it disconnects? Okay, never mind. Where is he with the knife?
He's outside, trying to come in.
Is the door locked?
Yeah, it's locked.
This terrifying gas station incident starts with a 911 call where a Salt Lake City clerk reports a man with a knife trying to stab him through the window. Footage from the incident shows the police arriving at the gas station to engage the man, who calmly walks away while still holding the knife. The officers repeatedly demand that he drop his weapon, but he refuses to comply.
Get on the ground! Stop, please!
Right now!
Do not!
No! Get on the ground!
Get on the ground! Please don't make us do this! Please! Please put the knife down!
We will shoot you! Get on the ground!
Stop! Get on the ground!
As they warn the man that they will shoot him, he simply yells, "I don't care," and continues his approach. This leaves the officers with no choice but to open fire.
Get on the floor!
Stop walking towards us!
You will get shot!
He was eventually hit more than 20 times. Footage has emerged of a South Korean pastor going full Hulk mode on her followers, but instead of smashing, she's slapping and beating them. Pastor Shin Ok-ju led her flock of 400 from South Korea all the way to Fiji, allegedly using them as free labor. Talk about a bumpy ride.
도대체 이 흉악한 놈이 어떻게 죽이고 가해가지고 이 미친 이런 거는 이렇게 싹둑 잘라버려 미친.
In the video, Pastor Shen seems to have taken a few pages out of the WWE playbook, encouraging family members to throw down on each other. But instead of championship belts, they're handing out bruises. Shin was finally snagged by the authorities when she flew back from Seoul from her island escapade. And boy, were her wrists sore from all those handcuffs. The whole ordeal is like something out of a horror movie, but sadly, it's all too real. Let's just hope they skip the sequel. Who knew a pastor could give Hulk a run for his money? Just when you thought the holiday spirit was all set, two Grinches show up. Caught on a doorbell camera late at night, a car pulls up and two thieves jump out, ready to steal some holiday joy. The video catches them targeting a big plastic snowman, a favorite Christmas decoration in the neighborhood. They snatch it, haul it across the yard, and jam it into their car, kind of like Santa Claus coming down the chimney, but instead of delivering, they're taking. Hopefully, there's a happy ending with some holiday justice, and the decorations find their way back. Meanwhile, It might be a good idea for everyone to beef up their holiday security. Maybe add some motion detecting reindeer or elves with alarms.